जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपादा 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 जय प्रभुपादा जय शिल प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की, गौर प्रेमानंदी श्री राधा गोपीनाथ गोपीजन वल्लभ गौर निताई गोपालनाथ जी की। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudiraye Nashta prayeshu bhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavate uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Hare Krishna. So I am speaking on Sunday after a long time. So shlokas is not there on Sunday generally. No, the board is not there. It is there. Today, Hare Krishna. Okay, I will. From where we will get? Like, somebody must have written. I don't know. Let it be. So I will sing the shloka. Those who have, I will tell. Those who have the shlokas on their mobile, they can open. They can sing after me. Today we are discussing on Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 6, and shlok number 19. 2, 6, 19. You can open. Those who have it on mobile. Padeshu sarva bhutani pumsa sthiti sthiti padah viduhu amrutam Shemam Abhayam Trimurdhano. Just 1 minute. Adhyayi Murdhasu Padeshu Sarvabhutani Pumsa Sthiti Pado Vidu Amrutam Shemam Abhayam Trimurdhodhyayi Murdhasu Padeshu Sarvabhutani Pumsa Sthiti Pado Viduhu Amrutam Shemam Abhayam Trimurdhodhyayi Murdhasu Padeshu Sarvabhutani Pumsa Sthiti Pado Vidu Amrutam Shemam Abhayam Trimurdhodhyayi Murdhasu Mataji's. Word to word meaning. Padeshu, in the 1/4. Sarva, all. Bhutani, living entities. Pumsaha, of the Supreme Person. Sthitipadaha, the reservoir of all material opulence. Viduhu, you should know. Amrutam, deathlessness. Shemam, all happiness. Free from anxiety of old age, diseases, etc. Abhayam, fearlessness. Trimurdhanaha, beyond the higher planetary systems. Adhayi, exist. Murdhasu, beyond the material coverings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be known as the supreme reservoir of all material opulences by the 1/4 of His energy in which all living entities exist. Deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from anxieties of old age and disease exist in the kingdom of God, which is beyond the 3 higher planetary systems and beyond the material coverings. Purport. Out of the total manifestations of the Sandhini energy of the Lord, 1/4 is displayed in the material world and 3/4 are displayed in the spiritual world. The Lord's energy is divided into 3 component parts, namely Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. In other words, He is the full manifestation of existence, knowledge and bliss. In the material world, such a sense of existence, knowledge and pleasure is meagerly exhibited, and all living entities who are minute parts and parcels of the Lord are eligible to relish such consciousness of existence, knowledge and bliss very minutely in the liberated stage. Whereas in the conditioned stage of material existence, they can hardly appreciate what is factual, existential, cognizable, and pure happiness of life. The liberated souls who exist in far greater numerical strength than those souls in the material world can factually experience the potency of the above mentioned Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini energies of the Lord in the matter of deathlessness, fearlessness and freedom from the old age and disease. In the material world, the planetary systems are arranged in 3 spheres called Trilok or Swarga, Martya and Patal, and all of them constitute only 1/4 of the total Sandhini energy. Beyond that is the spiritual sky, where the Vaikuntha planets exist, beyond the coverings of 7 material strata. In none of the Trilok planetary systems can one experience the status of immortality, full knowledge and bliss. The upper 3 planetary systems are called Sattvic planets because they provide facilities for a long duration of life and relative freedom from disease and old age, as well as a sense of fearlessness. The great sages and saints are promoted beyond the heavenly planets to Maharlok, but that is also not the place of complete fearlessness, because at the end of one kalpa, the Maharlok is annihilated and the inhabitants have to transport themselves to still higher planets. Yet even on these planets, no one is immune to death. There may be a comparative extension of life, expansion of knowledge, and sense of full bliss, but factual deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from old age, disease, etc. are possible only beyond the material spheres of the coverings of material sky. Such things are situated on the head. Adhayi Murdhasu. Hare Krishna. So for those who are not hearing daily classes, this chapter is called Purusha Shukta. The Supreme Lord is described in a universal form. So what now is being described is the Supreme Lord's head, the highest. And it is said on the head of Supreme Lord exist three things: deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from anxiety of old age and disease. Srila Prabhupada in the beginning gives few points. One point he says is that this whole material world which we see with telescope and everything, whatever it may be possible, is just 1/4 energy of the Supreme Lord. And other 3/4 is the spiritual world. And therefore Prabhupada says the number of souls in the spiritual world are much, much, much more than the number of souls in the material world. So that's the point which Srila Prabhupada is telling us. Again he says that even the liberated soul, the Muktatma or Mukta Jivatma, even when he is gone back to the spiritual world, the Mukta, the soul which is free from this material covering, even then he can experience this, what do you call it, existence, that is freedom from death and disease, knowledge and deathlessness to a limited degree. Souls. But still they can experience this fully only in the spiritual world. Only the Supreme Lord can experience this completely. And what to speak, Prabhupada is giving comparative experience of deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from disease and death in this material world. And it is called Trilokya. Martya Lok, Swarga Lok, and Patal Lok. So we are on the Martya Lok. Martya Lok comes from the word Mrityu. So this world is a place where death is common. In fact, this world is a place of death. Like many, many years back, I don't know exactly which year, 15 years back approximately, one day tsunami had come. Anyone remembers which year? 2006. Wonderful. It's almost 18 years. Those who are young today were not born or were very small to understand all these things. But a tsunami had come. And maybe, I don't know, around 1.5 or 2 lakhs people died in the tsunami. And it was a big news in all the newspapers all over the world. But actually that's not a big news at all. Absolutely not a big news. Some of you may say, oh, tsunami, 2 lakh people died. Actually, if we calculate the population of Earth, and you know there is a death rate and birth rate. That for every 1,000 people, maybe in India, 3 people are born per year, something like that. And 1.5 people, so that is the average, so it is 1.5. Otherwise, somewhere ask, how can 1.5 people die? It's a numerical, 1.5 people die per 1,000 per year, something like that. So if we calculate that way for the whole world population, then approximately 2-3 lakhs people die every day on the earth. It's not only thing on that day they died out of tsunami, or that day maybe 4.5 lakhs died, and another day 2.5. Average, around 2.5-3 lakh people die every day on the earth. So that way, that death tsunami is coming every day. One day the cause of death was something different. So different cause of death, heart attack, accidents, cancer, murder, wars. So many things can happen. So cause of death is different. So this place is called Martya Lok. We also heard this famous shloka by Yudhishthir Maharaj, who told to Yaksha during that Yaksha Prashna, which is the most Ashcharya, wonder of this world. That time that 8 wonder list was not there. Pyramids and Taj Mahal and Gate of All, China. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said only one. Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yamalayam. Shesh thavaram icchanti kim ascharya atha param. Yudhishthira Maharaj said that daily lakhs of people are dying. Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti yamalayam. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked, which is the greatest wonder of this world. So he said, daily lakhs of people are dying. We are seeing people dying around us. So many people have died. But those who are alive, they think they will be here in this world permanently. They want permanent home, permanent job, permanent like family, husband, wife. But they want all this home, job, family permanent. But they themselves are not permanent. So this is a bit odd in this material world. We want permanent job, permanent, what do you call it, what it may be, health and everything. But we ourselves are not permanent. So Yudhishthira Maharaj's statement was, this is the greatest wonder of this world. So anyway, further Srila Prabhupada says that even the soul in the liberated stage, they experience existence, knowledge and bliss in a very minute quantity. Even in the liberated stage. And what to speak of our existence, like on material world, it's very, very less. But there is some existence, some bliss, some knowledge on heavenly planets compared to earth. And whatever existence we have on the earth is actually negligible. If we compare to devatas also, we heard that devatas, like our 1 year is devatas 1 day. So when we have, like when we live for 80 years, say, or I am 60 years old, somebody may say. But for devatas, it's only 2 months have passed. So suppose for our 2 months, somebody takes birth, he does his PhD and dies. For us, it's useless. Like January, February, someone born, and old age, and job, and marriage, and reproduction, and death. So for devatas, means maybe if someone, I don't know, if you go for a long holiday, 1 or 2 months, and someone takes birth, becomes old and dies within that period, then that is insignificant. So, and then, so, but even devatas are insignificant from Brahmaji's point of view. I don't know exactly what is the calculation, but something, 1000 Mahayuga makes 1 day of Brahma. So 14, okay. So yes, in 1 day of Brahma, 14 times Indra's change. So if you say, I am president of this company for 1 hour, what is the value? I am prime minister of any country for 1 hour of someone else's life. You may become prime minister and then 1 hour. So for Brahma, in 1 day, he has to keep track. अभी कौन इंद्र है भाई? 12 घंटे में 14 इंद्र बदलते ब्रह्मा जी के. So for Brahma, Indra's position is, और इंद्र के एक दिन में, what calculation we did? 1 year of us is, yeah. 1 day of devatas is 1 year, yeah, 1 year. So for Indra is the same thing. For Indra is the same thing. 3945. So for Indra is the same thing. For in his 2 months, actually 2 months the whole life changes. If you take for 5 years president in India, or 5 years the president changes, prime minister. So what happens? So 5 years means 5 days, no? 5 days. So for Indra, in 5 days, someone says, I am. So for so Indra thinks, somebody will say, I have been the president of America for 8 years. But for Indra, it's only 8 days. So our existence is, someone says, Prabhuji, I got a job and I become the boss of this company. But for 8 days. Doesn't make much sense. So our existence on the earth, of human existence, once His Holiness Radha Maharaj said, it's just like we are flapping for some time before we die. You know, sometimes when an insect is crushed under a feet or tire, and then he just flaps for a few seconds and he dies. So our existence, whatever we may be doing, PhD, beauty competition, cricket matches, World Cups, all that is just flapping for a few seconds before we death. So what we should make out of it? Shall we not live our life for 60 years? Whatever is our quota, 50, 60, 70. We should, but full awareness of this very, very small existential existence which we have. We basically have no existence. So what we should, there are two ways we can analyze this. We can get depressed, frustrated, or we can get enthusiastic. If we want to enjoy senses, we'll get depressed because we are existing only for few seconds. But or we can be opportunistic, hopeful that at least I have few years in life to perfect my spiritual life. We can be very opportunistic. जितना समय उतना भगवान के सेवा में to become Krishna conscious, let me apply it. So it can be seen in both ways, although our freedom from fear and disease is almost not there, and deathlessness not there. Knowledge, I know, I don't know. See, I'm taking all old things. Maybe some of you can tell. Around again 15, 20 years back, they had made some big experiment in Switzerland. God's particle. The big news. And they said, we are on the doorstep to creation. But 17 years happened, they are still on the doorstep only. I don't know why they are not getting in the door. They knew, now we will understand everything about creation. Prabhuji, क्या हो गया उसका? No one even remembers, no one even talks. It's just like another moon experiment. We are there, America said in 1960s. No one talks. It was a big news, big science news, how scientists have understood some particle. And now they are on the brisk of creation, understanding creation. They can create planets. All this was being talked around 15, 20 years back. And no nothing. So much. And like 1,000 scientists from 58 countries and so many millions of rupees and dollars. And no, I don't know why they don't talk about it. So this knowledge is also very limited. We can become very hopeful that only Krishna consciousness can help us. And therefore it is said, those who want to enjoy life, they should think we are never going to die. And those who want to advance in spiritual life, they should think we are going to die very soon, which is a fact. It may be after a few years, as per our calculation. It's only few days as per Devata's calculation. And if we go to Brahmaji, it's not even a breath. Before even Brahmaji breathes in one breath, many of our generations will be passing away. So for Brahmaji to keep track, abhi kaun jinda hai prithvi pe? Because he breathes, so many generations passes away. Like senses, they know senses on population count on the earth, they do after every 10 years. So now you are told to do census, not census. That is population count in India. 100 times while you are breathing. एक breath में 100 बार गिनो पूरा भारत का कितना क्या population है. It's impossible and it's a joke. So no one can keep a track like that. In one breath, what is the population of India? So Brahmaji has to do that. He can do that. He can keep that track because he has more powers, more cognizance, more understanding capacity. So anyway, that's it. So, but we can also understand, we can take one shloka from Updeshamrut. That shloka is a very important one. The shloka says, Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhila swapi avasthaso jivan mukta sa uchyate. Rup Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu tells us, a person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna, with his body, mind and intelligence and words, is a liberated person even within this material world. Although he may be engaged in so many so-called material activities. So, yes, what we heard is deathlessness, fearlessness and freedom from old age and disease. At the same time, we have to understand, right now we are in this body which is going to die. In this body, hundreds of circumstances will come which are potential, which are capable to generate fear in your consciousness. What came? I forgot, it's good. वो क्या आया था 2-3 साल पहले? Corona, Corona. Good, I forgot. 3 साल हो गया. Corona can come. I was remembering my childhood. क्या उस समय क्या याद है? Polio. During I was child, polio was like very cause of death. 2-3 years back, Corona was there. So there will be something coming. Potentially, it can create fear in our consciousness. Anything can be there. Or disease, death, and existence can be over. But even in such a case, Rupa Goswami says, if someone is engaged in Krishna consciousness, he can be free. He can be a liberated person. Long back. I am telling today everything long back. One of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, His Holiness Sridhar Maharaj, he was speaking right here. Sridhar Maharaj left this world somewhere in 2004 or 5 or 6, 4 or 5. So this was, and he was for a bit sick for a year or 2. So this was before that. He spoke right here in this place. He said that liberated person means one who is free from this material world. Suppose a person is catching a tree, holding a tree, and he is shouting, please free me, please free me, please free me. So somebody may say, you are only catching the tree. And why you are asking for help? Please free me, please free me. You are only catching. No one has bound you or no one is forcing you. Just free and go, walk off. He said, this is our condition in this material world. We are only caught this world with all the attachments and the desire of pleasures, enjoyments. And then we are saying, let me be free from this suffering place. So Sridhar Maharaj says, who is stopping you? छोड़ के चले जाओ भाई. We are only catching it and we are only shouting, please free me, please free me, please free me. So that's the place. It is said here, how can we be liberated? Nikhila swapi avasthaso. He says specifically, even though we are embodied, we can be liberated. That doesn't mean our body will not die. That doesn't mean our body will not become old age and disease. But it means we will not be affected by what's happening with the body. We will be in pure existence, We don't mind where body exists or not. And even if we read a similar shloka of Bhagavad Gita 5.11, Kayena mansa abuddhya, same. Nikhila Sopi, this shloka of Rup Goswami also, he says, Karmana mansa gira. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kayena mansa buddhya kevalai indre rapi yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. So sangam, our attachments we have to leave. We have to give. We have only created and we are only holding on to them. Just give up and be free. But how? Kaya, we can be attached by kaya, by body, manasa, by mind, buddhya, by intelligence, and then finally it is ego, ahankar. Actually, ego is the connecting point. I don't know. There are two things, like, okay, there are two railway bogies and there's some joint in between. One side engine, one side bogie. So similarly, this ego is the joint between the spiritual world. Spiritual world is there, then ego, and then this side, the material world is there. So our material existence is there till we have the ego. Once the ego is gone, the whole material existence will go away. So Rup Goswami says, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, we can experience full spiritual experience of fearlessness, deathlessness, and freedom from the anxieties. What it says, freedom from the anxieties of old age and disease. In this body, we can't be free from old age and disease, but we can be free from the anxieties of old age and disease. In this body, we can't be deathless, but we can be free from the anxieties of deathless. So that can be achieved if we seriously practice spiritual life. What is it means? It is said, no false ego. Till we have false ego, we have attachments to the body and the possessions. Until we have a false ego and attachments to the body and possessions, the possessions of the body, possessions of the mind, possessions of the ego, we will be fearful, anxietyful, and will lack the complete knowledge. So bhakti has to be performed without false ego. And another way also is, if we perform bhakti properly, sadhana bhakti, so we can say Shuddha bhakti has to be performed without false ego. And if we perform sadhana bhakti properly, we will be getting free from false ego. Like Srila Prabhupada was asked, what do you want to get by chanting holy names? Prabhupada said, more chanting holy names. So right now we are chanting holy names in an impure stage, and we want to chant holy names in a pure stage. So false ego is called ahankar or matsar. It has two meanings. Ahankar means aham karoti, I am doing. Thinking, karta aham iti manyate. So if someone thinks I am doer of anything, I am owner, husband, enjoyer, intelligent, beautiful, knowledgeable, rich, strong. If we think I am something of all these material qualities, then we have some ahankar. Until we have ahankar, we have the desires to enjoy. Until we have that, we will be affected by fear, death, anxieties. So we have to, actually this demonic tendency means also matsar. Ahankar means I am the doer, and matsar means envy. Mata means me. Krishna says, Matta parataram nanyat. Compared to me. Sara means saras. In Sanskrit or Hindi, Marathi, this word is there. Saras means better. So matsar means we feel envious when someone is better than us. Someone is better in knowledge, in education, in beauty, in wealth, in skills. And if we feel bad, we don't feel happy when we see someone else better than us, then we have matsar and ego. So we are not practicing spiritual life properly. So spiritual life This is demonic mentality. A few days back, I was in Nashik. So we analyze this demonic mentality by analyzing Shurpanakha. Shurpanakha was thinking, I am better than Sita in beauty, and therefore I am the right person to enjoy with Ram. And Ravana was thinking the same way. I am the best person to live with Sita. I am better than Ram. So Sita is for me to enjoy. So this is demonic mentality. If we start thinking that I am better than others, this is for me because I am better. That is the mentality of Shurpanakha or Ravan. So that is the basic. Divine mentality is Tunadapi Suni Chena Taroriva Sahishnuna. And demonic mentality means Hamse Badkar Kaun. I am the best. I am better. Shurpanakha had that mentality. And we also analyzed there are many such tendencies coming into us. The meaning of word Shurpanakha. Nakha we all know, nails. And Shurpa actually is a Sanskrit word for, this billowing in Marathi or Hindi, we call it soup. I don't know, billow. Oh, like they do like this with the grains, they remove the grains and husk separately. Soup they call it in Marathi, not the English soup. Marathi or Hindi they call. So there is like a big thing. So Shurpanakha means one whose nails are big like soup. So this tendency to have long nails is also demonic mentality. I don't want to point at someone, but that's the tendency. So that is Shurpanakha. So also I would like to relate over here. We'll come to this demonic mentality again further. But before we discuss about not having false ego and not finding others' faults. So basically, this tendency is very dangerous because that is false ego. What is false ego? I am better than others. So one way to show it is that how I am nice than you. See, I can sing better than you. I can speak better than you. I can memorize shlokas better than you. And another way to show that is how you are bad with compared to me. Oh, you are this fault. Oh, you are that fault. The subtle meaning is I don't have that. So I am better. This is one way. One way is, okay, I am better than you in this way. And oh, that person, he is so bad. That is demonic tendency again. So this is the Rup Goswami again in Updeshamrut, shloka number 5 or 6. He makes this point. Very fine point. He says, 3 levels of devotees with which we can relate with 3 ways. Krishneti yasya giritam mansa driyeta. He says, those who chant holy names, we should offer obeisances to them in the mind. And those who chant occasionally, sometimes, Krishneti yasya giritam. Those who have, from whose mouth comes Krishna's name, we offer them obeisances in the mind. Dikshati chet pranatibhis cha bhajan. Those who do regular bhajan, that is sadhana bhakti, steady chanting, daily chanting, sadhana bhakti, to them we should offer dandot pranam physically. And shushushaya bhajana vignam ananyam anya nindadi shunyam. We should serve those and we should desire their association. Who are free from the desire, from the tendency to anya ninda. Ninda means criticism. So, somebody may be chanting, but he might have the tendency of anya ninda. Somebody might be chanting regularly, daily, doing sadhana bhakti, but still this shloka means he might have the tendency of anya ninda. So one has to chant regularly, and then the next level we have to work so that we don't have this tendency of criticizing others. So we'll be discussing some things of that. So this anya ninda, we all know the greatest and the dangerous offense is the first offense. And what is that? To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of Lord. So which devotees are dedicated their lives for the propagating the holy names, we can ask. I won't blaspheme them. What is the offense? To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy names of the Lord. Correct, we should not blaspheme them. So does it mean we can blaspheme others? Actually, in another place, our Acharya explained, even if we criticize a person who is not a devotee today, he is a demon. But suppose after many lives, he becomes a devotee. Then also our criticism is considered as a Vaishnava offense. Hari Bol. If we criticize someone who is not a devotee, who is behaving demonically today, and after many lives, if he becomes an advanced devotee, then also our criticism is considered as a Vaishnava offense. So what we should do? Yes, Prabhuji, what we should do? Don't criticize anyone. Actually, we should not do that. That should be our nature. That should be our naturally nature. If we have to see, criticism is one is verbal, one is in the mind. We should not think someone is bad. We might see it. Okay. We just neglect that part. We just neglect that part. That should be our second nature. Abhijatasya. Krishna uses this word second nature. Abhijatasya. So I would say this tendency of criticizing others is also seen in Shurpanakha. She was saying, Sita is like this. She is such a useless person. She could not tell much how she is better. She told. She tried to tell that also. See, that is a demonic tendency. Shurpanakha. How I am better than Sita. I roam around in the forest, eating all the animals at my will. She boasted like that. I am the one who is like a drum bellied. My belly is like a big drum. Dum, 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 dum. She boasted like that. And this Sita is such a dubli patli, karkiri. That was the statement. So that is the demonic mentality. How I am nice and how others are not nice. So Ravan also similar attitude. We don't see. Yes, Ram told Lakshman to mutilate Sita, not Sita, sorry, mutilate Shurpanakha. But we never see Ram criticized her. He told to do what is needful. But we don't see Ram boasting of his beauty and how Shurpanakha is ugly. Ram and Lakshman never entered that field. They did what was necessary to protect the Sita. They cut the nose and ears. So that we have to be careful. We might have to do what is necessary. If some devotee has some limitations, we might be careful in dealing with him. But we should be very careful not to speak how I am better and how he or she is not better. That we have to learn from Ramayana. So I would begin the story of this offenses towards the devotees of criticism. I'll just mention few stories and we'll move on very fast. You know this Nashik where Lord Ram stayed, and the place is called Panchavati. Some of you might have gone, some of you might have gone. Vata is Vata Vruksha and Pancha are 5. At that place where Sita Gufa and Kalaram Mandir, where Lord Ram's Kuti was there, that place is called Panchavati. And even today you can see 5 big banyan trees. They are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the story goes why they are there. Long back, I'll keep the story short because I want to take more points. Long back, just 1 minute. We should understand, now we are going to discuss few stories about devatas. Surya Dev, Brahmaji, Lord Shiva. They are really great personalities. We should not judge them by what pastimes we are going to discuss now. We should learn from them. They are all great personalities, very advanced in devotion, but we have to be very careful. Some of the devatas sometimes show the effect of mode of passion or ignorance. That's only one of incidents for them. Only once it happened in their life. So Surya Dev, he was having nice grihastha ashram. Surya Dev have two wives, Usha and Sandhya. Usha is the morning time, Usha Kal, and Sandhya Kal. So one comes before Surya Dev, Usha Kal. One comes after Surya Dev, Sandhya Kal. But Usha, she is the wife of Surya Dev, and she was having some difficult time because her husband is such bright. She was finding it difficult to look at her husband because Surya Dev is so bright. So she wanted to get a break. So she thought, let me go to the earth. And she came and she started staying, took shelter in the Kanva Muni's ashram, which was near Nashik, Panchavati. That time it was not Panchavati and it was neither Nashik. Because that time neither the Shurpanaka's nose was cut and neither this story which I am telling had happened. So Kanva Muni's ashram was there and she took shelter, she was staying a break because to look at Surya day in and day out, such a bright person, was difficult for her. But after some time, Surya, he started missing his wife. Where is Usha gone? So he understood. He started looking for her. And Surya came to the area of Kanva Muni ashram. And Usha saw, "Arey, mera to abhi pura time nahi ho gaya break ka. Husband has come quickly." So she wanted to hide. So she took a form of a horse, a she-horse. And when Surya came there, he also understood that my wife, Usha, to hide from me, has taken a form of a she-horse. So Surya also took a form of a male horse. And both Surya and Usha, in the form of a male and female horse, started sporting in the ashram of Kanva Muni. Kanva Muni did not mind. He was an experienced, mature person. But Kanva Muni had 5 sons. They started laughing at Surya. Hey, see what is he doing as a horse and his wife as a she-horse. They are running around. Oh, is this Surya? What is this? Ha ha ha. Because of that, they got cursed to become banyan trees, 5 banyan trees for long, long lakhs of years. So we see, Surya, it was okay. Husband and wife, they moved around as horse and after some time they went back. They did not have any problem. But those who laughed at them, those who criticized at them, this is the tendency. False ego means tendency to criticize others. I am better, you are not good. If we are free from this tendency, then we can experience spiritual life. Iha yasya. In this body, we can experience a spiritual life. So Surya saw they both, and these rishis, because they laughed, criticized. What does it mean? See, what is this Surya? We are better. Surya is not better. And because of that, they had to divert. Lakhs of years, crores of years of banyan tree life. When Lord Ram came, it is said that he delivered them. And those trees got another soul. So that is the danger. I don't know. In our life, we look at someone doing wrong and we laugh at them, we talk about them. Whatever has happened, we can't undo it. No, we have to feel sorry for it. But at least from today onwards, we have to be extremely careful to not laugh at others for their mistakes or whatever type of behavior they are doing. We don't say that their behavior is right. But our tendency to laugh at that, criticize that, is more worse. Brahmaji, for his behavior, not Brahmaji, Suryadev, for moving around as a horse and she-horse, he did not get any reaction. It was their husband and wife, they were engaging in sporting activities. But these Kanva Muni Putras, they became Vata Vriksha for millions of years. Very dangerous. They are diverted from their spiritual life, sadhana bhakti. Gone for millions. They came back after Lord Ram, blessed them. But for millions of years, they are diverted. There's another story. Please understand it a bit properly, those who are new. Brahmaji, at the time of creation, in the beginning of creation, one time he got attracted to his own daughter on a bodily level. And he started running after her own daughter. Many sages were there. They knew what Brahmaji is doing is not right. But none of them criticized or laughed at Brahmaji. Brahmaji had one son called Marich. Not Marich, sorry, Marichi. Marichi is in that Ramayana. Marichi is a sage. Brahmaji has one son called Marichi. And Marichi had 6 sons. They are called Marichi Kumaras. They started laughing at their grandfather. What is this? Our grandfather is running after his own daughter. What Brahmaji has to do? He had to atone and he had to change his subtle body. Means give up that mentality. And he was Brahmaji. He remained even as the Acharya of one of the Sampradaya. But what happened to these Marichi Kumaras? They were born as a demons because see, what decides our next life? This life actually is. So laughing at others is a demonic mentality. So Marichi Kumaras, they laughed at Brahmaji who was doing a mistake of running behind his own daughter. Brahmaji has to just atone and give up that mentality. And he became Brahmaji again. He was basically Brahmaji only. But Marichi Kumaras were cursed. You are acting like a demoniac, laughing at others. You become demon. And Hiranyakashipu, he had a son named Kalnemi. And they got birth as the 6 sons of Kalnemi in a demonic family. And in that birth also, Hiranyakashipu was thinking, I am the supreme God. But these 6 sons, they went to perform tapasya to please Brahmaji, to become powerful. And Hiranyakashipu got to know, my grandsons, they are not worshipping me, but they are worshipping Brahmaji. Actually, they were doing what Hiranyakashipu did. Hiranyakashipu also worshipped Brahmaji. But he could not tolerate his grandsons doing the same thing. So he again cursed that you left me and went to worship Brahmaji. I curse you that in the next life, you will be killed by your own father. Their father in this life was Kalnemi. So Kalnemi became Kamsa. And these 6 sons became the 6 Garbhas in Devaki womb. And they were killed. And after they were killed, they had to go to the hellish planets. They were delivered only when they drank the milk of Devaki again after Krishna killed Kamsa, liberated, and Devaki desired that I want to feed milk. Because Krishna had already drunk the milk first, the milk further was Mahaprasad. And because that milk of Devaki, which was like a prasad, which was drunk by the 6, they were liberated. But for how Hiranyakashipu happened in many, many ages. Because what was the mistake? They laughed at Brahmaji. Brahmaji had to do some tapasya, give up that mentality of wrong tendency to run behind the daughter, and he remained as Acharya. Acharya for one of the 4 paramparas. And these Marichi Kumara has to go such a diverted, go away from their spiritual life. Sons of Kalnemi, then sons of Devaki, and so many things. And they got delivered. So, similarly, we also hear how we should be careful. When Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva is a great devotee. He once heard that, what he heard? Supreme Lord had taken a very beautiful form of Mohini Murti. And he said, I want to see that form. Lord Vishnu asked him, are you sure? He said, yes. I am your greatest devotee. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. Actually, Lord Vishnu was also thinking, the Mohini form which I took in that Samudra Manthan Leela, which was not so beautiful because I had to attract only the Asuras. One of the tendencies of Asuras is to too much get bodily attracted. Like when Shurpanakha came, She saw Ram and gone. Finished. So too much just, I don't know, but that is the tendency in today's world, especially youth. They just feel, this is the woman, or this is the girl, or this is the boy, and they just can't think. That is again a demonic tendency. So Shurpanaka was like that. Ram, Then Ram said, you don't marry me, go to Lakshman. Oh, Lakshman. नसीब कोई तीसरा नहीं था, लक्ष्मण तो उसके पास था, ओह वो भी. So Ram said, Lakshman said, go to Lakshman again, go to Ram again. So basically that the tendency is there. One, then second, then third, then fourth. That tendency is there. And I have seen, because I sometimes preach to college students also. They are saying, this is the person. Every semester, the person changes. It's just like Ram and Lakshman. So this is the Ram, you are the one. And then Lakshman, you are the one. And then someone else, you are the one. This is again a demoniac tendency. We see. And Ram is called Ek Patni Varta. This is, Sita is also Pativrata. And Ram is also, this is divine tendency. And demonic tendency, Ram नहीं तो लक्ष्मण, लक्ष्मण नहीं तो अभी कोई रहेगा तो वो भी चलेगा, नहीं तो क्या बोलते हैं आजकल उसको, सॉरी मेरे को कुछ शब्द, स्टूडेंट्स दे से, एक्चुअली वन स्टूडेंट आस्क्ड मी, आई फॉरगेट, ओल्ड थिंग्स याद होते, क्रश क्रश कुछ, सॉरी, ये ऑल दिस वर्ड्स शुड नॉट बी यूज्ड ओवर हियर, बट व्हाट कैन आई डू? स्टूडेंट्स कम से, प्रभुजी इज इट रॉन्ग टू हैव क्रश इन लाइफ? मैं क्या बोलूं, तेरा क्रश तो हर सेमेस्टर बदलते रहता है. देख, एक्चुअली वन स्टूडेंट केम टू मी, प्रभुजी इज इट रॉन्ग टू हैव क्रश इन लाइफ? पहले मेरे को समझा नहीं, फिर बाद में समझा क्रश मतलब क्या बोल रहा है. सो इज राइट और रॉन्ग इज अ सेकेंडरी क्वेश्चन. यू चेंज एवरी 6 months or every year. So then it's very difficult. You have to be one Patni Vrata, like Lord Ram. Lord Ram was actually crushed. सीता के लिए इतना बड़ा युद्ध किया, जान जिंदगी में डाल दिया. समुद्र क्या, समुद्र सेतु बना. That is, today they just crush, they just have for a few months. They don't want to do any dedication, no service. Therefore it keeps on changing. If we actually want to see even crush concept, we can see from Sita and Ram. Even if you want to take it in that wording. So anyway, Lord Shiva, that Mohini Murti. So Lord Vishnu has to think, the Mohini Murti which came in Samudra Manthan, that will not attract Shiva. Lord Vishnu also had to analyze, अभी और कैसे सुंदर बनूं मैं, और कैसे सुंदर बनूं कि Shiva should also get attracted. But ultimately, to keep the story short, she took a very beautiful form, and then she was playing with ball with only one cloth, and then Shiva got attracted, and Shiva lost control. Parvati is there with him. Lord Vishnu करते ना तो पूरा एकदम clear cut. Parvati is there and Shiva got attracted, and Shiva is running behind Mohini Murti, leaving Parvati. And Mohini Murti, very clever. She is also running, sometimes appearing, sometimes disappearing, sometimes below the woods, trees, sometimes in front. And then Shiva is running. And Mohini is so clever. Means he is Vishnu only. Mohini was taking Lord Shiva. Mohini was going to all the ashramas of disciples of Lord Shiva. देखो तुम्हारे गुरु क्या कर रहे हैं. गुरु विवस्त्र है, मोहिनी का भी एक वस्त्र उड़ गया और गुरु भाग रहे हैं मोहिनी के पीछे. But all these sages of all the ashramas, wherever Mohini went and wherever Lord Shiva went, none of them laughed or criticized. Here was not a mistake of Lord Shiva, because he is attracted only to Lord Vishnu. So that, but still, this Kanva Putras, they laughed at Suryadev. So some, not even a single Rishi or Muni, they were clear. No laughing at Lord Shiva, or no laughing at even any other person. Because the tendency is the same. If you laugh at Lord Shiva, you will laugh at others also. And if you laugh at others, you will laugh at Lord Shiva also. So all these sages we find, that is our behavior. Whether the behavior of another person is right or wrong, doesn't matter. Surya's behavior was right, Brahma's behavior was wrong, Shiva's behavior was wonderful. It can be wonderful, right or wrong. We cannot criticize or laugh others. That we have to be very careful. So actually, there are many such points even in the recent ages. Lord Chaitanya's time, we hear this Ramchandra Puri. He started finding for. See, criticizing others means to criticize others. What we have to do, or what should happen logically? Yes. Yeah. But to criticize others, we have to take note of their faults. How can we criticize if we don't see some faults in someone? If I see at this person, and if I don't see any faults, how can I criticize? So either I have to take note of his real faults, or if he doesn't have faults, I have to make up a story that he has faults. Because without faults, how can someone criticize? So this Ramchandra Puri, his guru Madhavendra Puri was blissful, crying Krishna's name. This is a tendency. Somebody is crying in Krishna's chanting and somebody is finding fault even with that. Madhavendra Puri was in the highest level of spiritual experiences. And Ramchandra Puri was saying, why you are chanting the holy name? So, fault or no fault? Our fault is, we see the fault in others. Madhavendra Puri didn't have any fault. But Ramchandra Puri could, his brain was faulty. That even in that condition he saw faults of Madhavendra Puri. And same tendency continued when he came to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's room, few ants were crawling. And ants crawl at many places. So Ramchandra Puri, oh, ants are crawling here. That means you sannyasi, you are eating lot of sweets. How can somebody relate something beyond imagination? That is the tendency which we develop. The danger of offending devotees is this. Our brain starts develop. See, it's very difficult to say just few ants are moving and that means you eat lot of sweets. Ants moves everywhere. So many places ant moves. Everywhere they move. Pipalika is a Sanskrit word for the ant. But just because someone's room has some ants, he eats sweets, he eats lot of sweets, he is sense enjoyer. We might be astonished, but this is what exactly happens if we laugh or criticize our devotees, that our brain will start developing so many imaginary ideas to see faults. If there are some faults, we'll immediately see them. And if there are no faults also, we'll see them. That is what we see from Ramchandra Puri's incidents. And suddenly, in due course of time, he gave up Krishna consciousness. So if we start criticizing devotees, finding faults or laughing at them, the result is clear, is giving up Krishna consciousness. How and when? That's a detail. It may take few years, it may take few decades, but the result is very clear. So I would just request all of you and help me also that whatever may happen, we should be very careful from this tendency to not. We don't say the faults are not there. Brahmaji did a mistake. There is like another story during Srila Prabhupada's time, which I also tell many times. There was one sannyasi. Prabhupada, for preaching, he gave sannyas at a very young age. And some of them could not maintain their sannyas. So one sannyasi who was preaching in Australia, and he had an affair with a woman and he decided to he decided to engage in Krishna consciousness. And he decided to get get married, change his ashram. Yeah, so as a sannyasi, that's not good. But he accepted his reality. As a reality, on battery, switch off at 1 hour. Okay, that sannyasi was preaching in Australia and he had an affair with a woman and he decided to change ashram. Not exactly ideal situation, not exactly very good, but at least he accepted and he changed the ashram. And another sannyasi was there in another part of the world. He immediately sent telegraph to all ISKCON centers that this happened to this Maharaj and he has an affair with a woman and therefore he should not be allowed in our temples. When Prabhupada came to know, Prabhupada said that this Maharaj who has now decided to become Gurustha, honestly has accepted his position, he will continue very nicely in Krishna consciousness. But this Maharaj who has unnecessarily spread the world around, criticizing, he'll be getting difficulties in Krishna consciousness. Actually that happened. I know. That Maharaj who had an affair, who became Grihastha, today is a very nice devotee in the Grihastha ashram. Very wonderful after 30 years. And this another Maharaj who criticized, sent the telegraphs, he could not practice Krishna consciousness for more than 1 or 2 years. So, all these examples tell us mistake is there, but what is bigger? Having an affair as a sannyasi with a woman is not correct, it's wrong. But he could continue with Krishna consciousness very properly because he accepted his limitations, he accepted humbly, honestly, and kept ahead. And one who criticized, nowhere to be seen, somewhere in the world of Maya. So that is, we have to be very careful. And before we end, I would just like to take 1 or 2 more stories. Chaitanya, we all know, we have seen dramas also many times. Jagai Madhai. Most of you know Jagai Madhai story. They had done all types of sinful activities. Drinking, intoxication, exploiting women, murders, dacoits, everything. You name sinful activity, Jagai Madhai had done hundreds and thousands of them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered them. He said, you have performed all the sinful activities hundreds of times, but you are still qualified to be delivered because you have not offended devotees, because you have not criticized devotees. These qualifications makes you qualified to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered them, and after that he had a big kirtan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Jagai and Madhai, and they were both dancing in Krishna Prem. That time Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, who had a body of a golden body, became dark like a coal. Devotee asked, what happened? He said, I accepted all their sinful reactions on me. And then as the kirtan happened, again Lord Chaitanya became golden. So devotees asked, where are these all sinful reactions gone? Chaitanya said, I have kept them in storage. In the future, whoever criticizes devotees, he'll get a part of Jagai Madhai's reaction. So, and how strict Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about his criticizing devotees. I'll end with one story, that he was not even willing to excuse his own mother. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, actually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a small boy, his younger brother Vishwarup, he used to go to Advaita Acharya's home daily. And because of getting all the training from Advaita Acharya, at a very young age, he took sannyas and went away. So that feeling was there in Sachi Mata's mind. She did not speak it, but it was there in mind. Because of this Advaita, my son Vishwarup has taken sannyas and gone. I'm not sure whether she spoke or not. Maybe she spoke only once, or she didn't speak also, but that was in her mind. Because of this Advaita, my elder son took sannyas. Or even if she spoke only once. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he went to Shantipur and Sachi Mata had come and he was giving mercy to everyone. Someone says, what about Sachi Mata? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, she will not get mercy. because she had criticized Advaita Acharya. All the devotees are, hey, she is your mother. She is the mother of the Supreme Lord. Hey, what can I do? She might be my mother, but because she has criticized Advaita, she had to bow down to him and take the dust of Advaita Acharya. Ask forgiveness from Advaita Acharya. Then only I can give mercy to Sachi Mata. So Lord is not given mercy to, he is setting the example that even I will not give mercy to Sachi Mata if she has criticized devotees. And then in that pastime, once Advaita Acharya became ecstatic, fell down unconscious, and Advaita Acharya, so Sachi Mata went to take dust of Advaita Acharya. Hey, I cannot give you dust. You are the mother. So then in the pastime, while doing Kirtan, Advaita Acharya once fell down unconscious, and Sachi Mata took that chance and came and took his dust and offered him obeisances. Then Chaitanya said, no, I will accept Sachi Mata. So that is serious aparad. Aparad means aradhana. And opposite of aradhana is aparad. So the danger is we start developing the tendency of finding faults in others, criticizing others, and even if there are no faults, we will look out for the faults, or we will make imaginary faults, like Ramchandra Puri, making imaginary faults on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of eating too much sweets. So I just wanted to say that in this today's shloka, that this is the connecting between material consciousness and spiritual consciousness is false ego. And false ego means I am better and you are bad. Laughing at others, joking others, seeing their faults, discussing about it. So move ahead and selfish mentality. So speaking lies. That is again another fault. Sita also tells Lord Ram. What happens when Shurpanakha goes to Ravan to complain? She doesn't say the truth. The truth was, she was enamored by Ram. And she had gone to propose Ram, and because Sita was in between, she was going to kill Sita and eat her. And then Lakshman attacked her. But when she went to Ravan, she did not tell this part. What she told? Ravan, Sita itni sundar hai, so beautiful. I went to get Sita for you. She had gone to get Ram for her. But she is telling Ravan, I am such a your loving sister. I went to get Sita for you. And see what happened to me. So this is another demoniac tendency to speak lies. So this is some things which I could say on today's shloka. Some other is on time. Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone for patiently listening. I would just say in summary of today's class, please be careful from this very dangerous, we all have, because that's why we are in material world, but in the future at least, dangerous tendency of criticizing devotees. And to criticize devotees, we have to impose, we have to find some faults in them. And if we don't look some faults, our mind has become such a program because of offensive mentality. Even if there are no faults, we'll impose some faults on them and start criticizing, which is more bad. See, Brahmaji had a fault and they laughed, it is bad. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had no fault. He was not like feasting on sugars and sweets every day. But Ramchandra Puri imposed some fault on him and criticized, which is more bad. So whatever more bad, less bad, we have to be very careful. Thank you everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So we'll have Kirtan for some time. An announcement will be sometime. Question answer. Oh, it's time, but okay, Prabhuji is telling me. So if anyone has one question, Mata is already. Yeah, mic. One question we'll take. Just let the mic come.
In this verse, there are three Shaktis mentioned, right? Sandhini, Samvit, Haladini. So can you tell what these three Shaktis are and how they differ exactly?
Yeah, they are same points: existence, knowledge, and bliss. In the purport, as you read, Prabhupada has mentioned 3 points: Sandhini, Samved, and Ladini. Sandhini is existential energy. The spiritual soul exists permanently. And in this world, we exist only for few years or some time as per our calculation. So this energy which gives us existence is Sandhini. Energy which gives us knowledge is Samved. And energy which gives us bliss, pleasure, not material bliss, spiritual pleasure, is Ladini. Ladini Shakti is Srimati Radharani. We all know. Yes?
Prabhuji, one more question.
Yes. Question my question. Okay, anyway.
Prabhuji, you said we should not find faults, which is okay from our side. But what happens most of the time, as you said, people create imaginary faults and start pointing fingers at us, start blaming us. At that time, generally what happens, we try to keep quiet, but we get angry, right? And it's human tendency. We don't like unnecessarily someone blaming us for their faults. Forget about imaginary faults, they blame us for their faults. In such case, we feel angry and then again they point a finger at us. See, you are getting angry. Like, how should we tackle this situation?
Yeah, this is a human tendency. Very good. But we are not humans, we are souls. Yeah. Whatever we spoke or discussed today will not be achieved in one day. May not be 1 year, may not be 1 decade, and may not be 1 lifetime also. But still, that is what is to be achieved. The goal cannot be changed. At the same time, the answer to this should be in 2 parts. One part is in your job, profession, and one part is in Vaishnava association. In job profession, we can hear the story of Narad Muni, where he tells the snake that you don't bite them, but snake you should just go push, push, push. So in the job, you can't be very humble. You have to take care that you sometimes have to, you should not become angry. What did Narad Muni tell the snake? You don't get angry and bite. You just do push, 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 push. So in a job also, we have to have the highest consciousness, but we have to act as if we have got angry and we have to take the corrective measures. Like Lord Ram was not angry, but he killed so many Rakshasas when Khara Dushan attacked, but he was not angry from within. So similarly in our job, profession, business, means in the material world activities, we might have to do what is required, but internally we should not be still angry. Human tendency is we get angry. We should not be angry, but we should act like angry, because वहाँ पे वो जरूरी है. But in the association of devotees, we should not get angry, and we should not act also as if angry. We can act in association of devotees as if angry when you have that role. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that in Bhakti-Alok. When you have the role of you are like authority or a father, like Prabhupada's father, he would get angry and chastise Prabhupada. And before chastising, he would say, what can I do? I am your father. I am supposed to do it. Please forgive me. And then he would chastise his son. Nowadays, you don't do. Your sons will take wrong advantage of it. But you can say the first part in the mind. If you say physically, the sons are very clever. Hey, don't chastise me. The mind you can say, what can I do? I am mother, so I have to correct you. So I have to see the fault. Ye man mein bolo. And then you chastise your son. So yes, we should not get angry in our material responsibilities also, but we might have to do, we have to chastise the son or some family members or in the office someone who is under you, but not getting affected by the situation. That is the highest goal. I understand it's quite high. And in devotee association, we should not get there also if you are like you are playing the role of a counselor or authority or HOD, you are taking the responsibility for some seva and there are 5 devotees under you in that seva. Sometimes you have to do that. but with full begging of forgiveness. Hare Krishna, I think we should end. Somebody has questions, they can meet me later. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now we have Kirtan. Standing Kirtan. We'll have standing Kirtan. Hare Krishna. On all